What's up, everybody? This is Chaos here, and back to you guys with another video. So, as you can see, it's snowing. As you can see in the background, there's a lot of snow going on, and heading to the bank because I gotta pay rent this month. Anyway, so I'm getting some stuff. I'm just kind of tired of I'm tired of this, tired of getting up going to work every day, to be honest with you, because you got to deal with people that don't do their part. So the other day, the day before yesterday, actually. So I was heading out because I thought I had to go to work because I work as a security guard at the theater, right? And so I'm heading to work. Well, before that, supervisor called me. She told me the days that I'm going to be working, but she didn't tell me. She said I was going to be off Wednesday and Thursday, but she didn't tell me that I was going to be off Monday and Tuesday, right? So that was a miscommunication on her part, on the supervisor's part, right? So I showed up Monday thinking I had to work today, right? Because I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be working 5 days a week. I don't want to do 5 days a week, but considering they don't have any work for me, I might as well just go ahead and just go ahead and figure this out, right? Go ahead and just do this, and that'll be the end of it. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just go to work. And when I get there, trying to get settled so I can get started working, I might have to use my stand because my hands are starting to hurt. And to come to find out, another security guard shows up. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, what is going on? I thought, what is going on? I thought I was working Monday and Tuesday. And come to find out that the security guard told me the supervisor was going to another country to go visit. And I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, so you get to screw everything up because you're going somewhere else, right? And then, she talks about communicating and all of this other crap. Something about her son having to have surgery or something like that. I don't know. That's just what I was told. Hold on for a second, guys, because I feel weird with that other hoodie on my head. Give me one moment. Okay, I guess that's a little bit better. Anyway, so last month I went a whole 30 days with no work. And I'm kind of tired of this company. The only reason I'm sticking with this company because I'm going to school, and from what I'm understanding, they do partnership with the security company I work for, surprisingly. So I'm thinking, okay, if I can just, do that, if I can just do, turns out I'm probably gonna have to figure out another way I can pay my way through, because, you know, with this bachelor's degree, since I'm going to be doing this for like a year, based on the college credits that I have. I don't even know if the college credits are finalized. They're saying that some of them from some college won't transfer. There's always that issue with college where certain credits won't transfer, some credits will do transfer. You know, it's just kind of weird to me. I don't get it. You know, my thing is, if you got the college transfer, then it shouldn't be that big of an issue. It shouldn't really be that issue, or that much of an issue to be able to do that, right? Anyway, so going back to the whole job situation. So I saw the other security guard, and she was looking at me crazy, and I was looking at her crazy. She was like, "Hey, what's going on?" She had a "hey, what's going on" look on her face, right? So I'm like, "Hey, why are you here? They need 2 security guards now?" Like, no. She said that she was just there for training hours or whatever they're doing. I don't know. And she said that she works at the other building, but they got her coming here to work, right? So I'm thinking, well, if they got you at the other post, they don't make no sense for you to come over here unless if you're doing that part-time and they just need a guard over here. I don't really get her way of scheduling, why she's scheduling it like that, you know. And then, so the supervisor, she told me she was going to start opening up that position of me working at theater, which is the one I wanted to go to before they sent me to the mall, because the mall was just a headache. And I hated that place, working there. I mean, as a security guard, it was always stuff happening, right? You know, people steal stuff and they shoplift and they run out of the malls. But to be honest with you, it's not like they can just chase them down. And then the police officers, they take forever to show up. And then by the time they show up, it's like the person that we're after is already gone. Or they'll wait and then they'll come back and it's just like, yeah, the police here, we might as well go. Yeah, I just noticed that. You ever notice how when stuff happens, you call the police, and then when the cop shows up, the culprit or the criminal or whoever that you calling the police on, or the person you call the police on, always ends up disappearing and out of sight. You know. And then they the police officers, they take their time trying to get there too, right? Because I guess some cases are more important than whatever. So anyway, I ended up finding out the hard way that that I didn't have to work Monday and Tuesday. So I'm like, okay, so she got me working 3 days and off 4 now? But I thought she said I was going to be working 5 days a week. And I was only going to be off Wednesday and Thursday. What is going on? And I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys are working for Securitas up here in Alaska, don't. But these people, they got this supervisor lady. She don't know what she's doing. I can't even really understand, like, how do you schedule somebody? Okay, how do you go from having a guard going a whole 30 days with no work, then all of a sudden you got me scheduled to go to work 1 day, 2 days out of the week. Then it's back to like I don't like that. Like, I like to work a job that I can get consecutive hours, not this whole hourly gap. But that's what she was doing. And then all of a sudden, she didn't tell me I didn't have to work Monday and Tuesday because there was another guard that's gonna be there. I ended up finding that out the hard way. She only told me that I was gonna be off Wednesday and Thursday. You see what I'm saying? Like, she'd have screwed up everything and went on her little vacation somewhere else. It's just ridiculous how you got to deal with this kind of crap when working a job. You know, you're working with a company with a bunch of people that don't want to do their part. And then when they do their part, they're very sloppy at it. You know? And I'm just thinking, like, she's over here. If this lady is doing the scheduling, the payouts, and all of that stuff, then my thing is, why can't somebody else help with the workload? You know, why is it always just, why you got one person doing everything? It doesn't make any sense. You know, because obviously she make mistakes. She don't really write things down. She got too much going on, obviously. You know, but the way people work up here in Alaska, it's like, yeah, they know that, but they're still gonna let people take on the entire responsibility solving the world's problems in a job position, and they don't even care if she messes up, right? They just let her do whatever she wants to do, and then that's the end of it. So I've been looking for other jobs, but Alaska does not have any other job opportunities here. And the job fairs that they have is like joining the military. They got the Navy and all of that stuff. I'm just like, yeah, I ain't trying to join no military. Screw that. You get out there. Not saying that they're going to probably put me on the field if I did join, but it's like, if you're getting all these benefits, they're paying you for this and that, then the first thing, you know, you're on combat. It's not like you're going out there alone, but at the same time, it's like, you know, regardless of the training that you get, and you lose your life or worse, it's like, what's the point of having all these benefits, right? And the thing is, the plans I have for my life, the military is just not going to be that much help for me. Because my biggest thing, I want freedom. To be able to live life on my own terms. You know, which is stability and financially free. Which means I don't want to ever have to worry about money again. I want to be able to have some streams of income to be able to do what I want to do. But right now, YouTube is getting more saturated by the minute. And if your titles ain't where it needs to be, you know, the algorithm, which is the audience, I mean, since I started this channel, you know, I've been getting like really low views lately. So I did some research. I come to find out that Gemini and Google are working together, which changed the whole platform of YouTube. And so now it's changed to the point where when you first make a YouTube account, when you first change a make a brand new YouTube account, YouTube channel, you can't, like, the new rule now is you can't post right away. You have to go to other channels. You have to, go to other channels, hit the like button, comment, kind of to let the algorithm know that, you're not a robot, pretty much. So, that's pretty much how it is. So I'm just now learning this. But then you still got the YouTube gurus out there selling $1,000 courses, because they know how frustrating it is to grow on YouTube. So they're using people when they're at their lowest and charging them an outstanding price for something that is like, it's just ridiculous, right? And all you're doing at the end of the day is you're just wasting all your money. So I started thinking, do I really have to spend so much money on these courses? Do I really have to do all of this? It doesn't really make any sense, right? You got to spend so much money on these courses. And these people, it's not like you're getting guaranteed results. And I think a lot of people make YouTube a lot complicated than it's supposed to be. And, and I can see why a lot of people give up, because they looking at thousands and thousands of videos on YouTube. None of what they're teaching them is clicking or working. They take you to these expensive websites that you got to pay for, rather if you're trying to build a website or whatever that you're trying to do. They take you to all of these different websites, and and it's like the way they make it look like it's free to use. But then when you try it yourself, it's like, this is not free. They're charging like a yearly $400 a month, a year, just for this and that. Then they're cutting the prices. They're trying to cut the prices down. You get, to make it, all you got to do is just pay $7.99. Then you go to the final checkout. They charging you over $600 for a product. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. How is it that I'm paying this much? But see, a lot of YouTubers, what they don't do, they don't read the fine print. Anytime when you have like Whole Singer and all of these other ones, like, it's a good app, building professional websites. But here's the thing. When you come across the prices for the memberships, be sure to read the small fine print that's underneath the cost of it, because that's what a lot of YouTubers don't go over. They don't go over that type of stuff, because you're still spending so much money, right? But at the same time, you're not spending the money that they're saying, we're taking this percent off. So just kind of be aware of that when you guys are going on these websites. Not saying that y'all are going to do that, but you know, maybe you can share that information with other people that are thinking about, if you guys are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, I'm not, you know, I'd say go for it, but just know that you're going to be competing with a lot of other YouTubers out here, you know, because you got to really think about it. Rather, if you're doing horror animations or narrating storytelling, or you're doing kid stories, Bible stories and stuff like that, there are tons of those that are doing that in that niche. Every niche is pretty much is saturated, man. You know, you got the gurus that telling you to do finance, to do this and do that, because they telling you all of this stuff to do, but they're not really guaranteeing you a system. And yes, you do need a system, but what purpose will that system serve if what they're telling you to do, it's not working? So just kind of be on the lookout for that. You know, if you are starting, you know, because I started my YouTube channel. I've been on YouTube for 7 years and I ain't never had a monetized YouTube channel yet. Right? And of course, I've been on it on and off, but I did live streams and I would say trying to start a YouTube channel was easier back then than it is now. It's not easy. It's actually getting more harder. I've been posting and I got to the point where I just started to burn out because I done tried all these softwares that people say that you gotta try. They don't take their time and go through it. They just fast link it. They just go over the fast way. They skip certain parts of the video. You know, say, hey, all you got to do is this, this, and this, and just a little blur, a little this, and a little that. And voila, you got this, this, and that. But they don't take their time and go over that stuff. You see what I'm saying? Because there are some videos I did go through, and I stopped every video, every timestamp, just to make sure I understood what the video is trying to do, right? Because with me, when I started Fiverr, I didn't know what I was doing. And you got a lot of these YouTubers that they go too fast and then they fix it to where they're skipping certain steps. And I don't think it's, me honestly, I don't think it's worth it starting a YouTube channel in 2026. It's too many rules. It's too many do's and don'ts. And it's way too many YouTubers that are in YouTube education. None of them really help. And, you know, the only thing that they're good at is doing YouTube education, right? They don't tell you if this works for every niche. It's just, I don't know, starting a YouTube channel just don't seem to be working out, you know. And the only reason I did it, because, you know, I would like to get monetized on YouTube, you know. I'm not going to say that I don't want to. But the problem is that my goal was I was going to take whatever I did get monetized. I wanted to use the money from YouTube and be able to help with my education, because I'm planning on getting my bachelor's degree, and you know, and I don't even have the money. The jobs are not paying, you know, for my work. They're half paying me. You know, I'm stuck up here in Alaska because Like I said, my uncle kicked me out, if you saw my other video. And so I'm stuck up here with no money to get back to where I want to go. And it's just not really that many job opportunities here in Alaska. And I done applied to so many places here. You know, I'm going to tell you guys, unless if you know, now I came here because I had a job offer and I was staying with my uncle. So that's the only reason why I came up here. But for those of you, Alaska is a interesting place. The thing I like about it is the mountains and, you know, everything else. But when it comes to the people here, they're very prejudiced. If you talk to some, I talked to some of them since my time here, and all I ever hear is, you know, they're on drugs, drinking, smoking meth. It's always about drugs. That's all I ever hear. Like, it's like no one does anything productive up here. You know, the only thing they do is drugs, and they have a bunch of homeless people sleeping, having sex in their cars, and, you know, sleeping and violating, and just drunk, passed out, intoxicated. They go to other places and start problems. It's just not really a place I would want to stay to live. You know, it's just not that. And then, you know, and if you're, you know, like me, if you're a black man, I mean, there's some black people here, but not trying to race bait, but if you are coming here, don't expect to have any friends here, because people are picky. I don't know. But anyway, so my reason for starting a YouTube channel is because I wanted to get some money to be able to save up, to get myself above water. You know, I thought, hey, maybe I should just start a YouTube channel and, you know, maybe give it a shot. And I gave it a shot, and now I'm seeing that the YouTube algorithm has changed, and, you know, everything is just, it's even more harder to grow a YouTube channel than it was, you know, before they updated YouTube. So anyway, I'll be back with part 2. You guys stay safe.